If you're on Social Security, or if you're about to be, there are a few 2026 changes that can either save you a headache or cost you real money if you miss them. Today, we're breaking them down, the 2026 Social Security updates that everyone needs to know right here on the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show.
It's the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show.
Howdy neighbor, I'm Michael Andrews with Andrews Insurance and Advisory, and every week we tackle real-life questions about retirement, Medicare, and Social Security in plain English. But today we're going to do a full-blown Michael tutorial about the 2026 updates to Social Security. So let's get into the updates that actually matter. First up is the COLA, the cost of living adjustment. This is Social Security's inflation increase, and it's meant to help keep your benefit keep up with the real world as prices rise over time. But here's the part that people miss. What matters is not just that gross benefit, it's what actually hits your bank account. In 2026, the biggest reason that your raise may not feel like a raise is Medicare Part B, because most folks have Part B drafted right out of their Social Security check. So when Social Security goes up, but Part B goes up too, those two numbers fight against each other. That's why you'll hear someone say, hey, Social Security went up. But when they look at their deposit, they say, well, man, it sure doesn't feel like it. The right way to think about COLA is this. It's helpful, it matters, and it's inflation protection, but you still want to look at that net check because that's the number that you're actually living on. Next, let's talk about the rule that can surprise working retirees and literally make checks disappear for a while if you don't plan ahead. So if you are taking Social Security before your full retirement age and you're still working, you've got to know the 2026 earnings test limit because this is where people get blindsided. In 2026, if you're under full retirement age for the entire year, you can earn up to $24,480 before Social Security starts holding back benefits. And after you cross that line, what they will end up doing is they will hold back $1 for every $2 that you earn over the limit. That does not mean that you pay a penalty tax, and it does not mean that Social Security sends you a bill. It means they temporarily withhold some of your monthly checks until the math works out. There's also a higher limit for the year that you reach your full retirement age, and the rule changes to $1 withheld for every $3 over the limit. Then once you hit full retirement age, the earnings test magically goes away. The big takeaway is simple. If you're going to claim early and keep working, we want to plan it because the timing of when you claim, how much you earn, and even which months you earn it in can change what happens to your check. Now, let's move to the other number that matters for workers, business owners, and higher earners, and that is the wage-based limit and what it actually means. Social Security payroll is not charged on every dollar forever, so there's a cap each year on how much of your wages get hit with the Social Security portion of FICA. And in 2026, that cap went up to $184,500. So if you make less than that, you probably won't notice the change at all. If you make more than that, you will, because more of your income is subject to Social Security tax before it shuts off for the year. Now, does that instantly change your Social Security check next month? No, but it does matter in the big picture because it affects how much gets paid into the system each year. And it can affect higher earners more than anybody. So if you're still in your peak earning years, or if you're a business owner paying yourself wages, it's just one more number changing going into 2026 that you need to be aware of. Next is a quick one that matters a lot more than people realize, and that is the Social Security work credits. When someone asks me, hey, how do I qualify for Social Security? What they really mean is this: do I have enough work credits? So a work credit is like this. It's basically Social Security's way of keeping score. You earn credits by working and paying in, and you need a certain number of credits to qualify for retirement benefits, disability, and survivor benefits. In 2026, you earn one credit for each $1,890 of earnings, and you can earn up to 4 credits per year. So for most people working a normal job, they get their 4 credits every year and never think about it. But this matters for people with gaps in work history, younger workers just getting started, and self-employed folks who might have light income years or years where they don't really report much profit. This is also why I tell people don't guess. If you're not sure, go to SSA.com, create an account, and look at your Social Security statement and make for sure that your earnings record is correct, because that record is what your future benefit is going to be completely based on. Now for the big question that always comes up whenever we talk about Social Security, and that is this. Is it going broke? Is it running out? What does insolvency actually mean? So you've probably heard the headline, Social Security is running out of money, and it's enough to make people panic. But the word people use is insolvency. Now that does not mean that Social Security disappears. What it means is this, your checks won't go to zero, but if Congress does nothing, the trust fund reserves eventually get depleted. And at that point, Social Security would still be funded by incoming payroll taxes. But those taxes would only cover most of the scheduled benefits, but not all of them. The current projection from the 2025 Trustees Report is that the combined Social Security trust funds could be depleted around 2034, and if nothing has changed, benefits would be paid at roughly 81% of what is scheduled. So that's the 79 to 81 cents on the dollar idea that you may have heard. Still real money, still a monthly check, but potentially reduced if lawmakers don't act. If you're already on Social Security or you're really close to filing, remember this. Typically, politicians' number one job is to get reelected. So these changes will typically hit younger workers first because it is politically and practically easier to phase these things in over time. Now, this does not mean that you need to ignore it. It just means that you don't make claiming decisions based on the latest fear headline. The smart move is to build a plan that can handle a few different futures. That might mean keep more money in an income level, or maybe Social Security timing, spending flexibility, or maybe part-time work for a season if you want to, and an investment mix that is built to support your paycheck. The goal is not to predict what the Congress or the government's going to do. The goal is to make sure that your household can handle whatever ends up happening. All right, so let me cap the big 2026 updates in plain English. In 2026, the big changes are this: COLA helps, but watch your net check because Medicare Part B can eat up part of that raise. If you're working while taking Social Security before retirement age, the earnings test limit has changed, and if you don't plan around it, checks can get withheld. The wage base limit went up, which higher earners will notice. The work credit amount changed, which matters for people with gaps or self-employment. And on the Social Security's going broke headlines, the truth is more calm than the headlines. It's not zero, but planning should build flexibility. All right, those are some of the big changes coming to Social Security, the ones that can actually affect your check, your timing, and your plan if you're still working. And if you've got a question about your situation, here's what to do. Shoot me an email at michael@andrewsadv.com. I read every single one of them, and I might just answer yours on a future episode. You've worked hard to build your retirement, and you do not have to make these decisions alone. If you want a second opinion, I'm here to help you. It doesn't cost anything for me to take a look, but not letting me, man alive, it literally could cost you thousands. So if you want to take this relationship to the next level, you can call or text me at 918-842-7379, or head on over to andrewsadv.com and click on my calendar to schedule a time that works for you. Before you go, hit subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss next week's episode. And if you would, follow the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show page on Facebook. If you found this helpful, give it a like, leave a comment, and share it with a friend who could use some good neighborly retirement advice. Thanks again for watching and listening, and we will see you all next week right here on the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show. Thanks.
It's the Howdy Neighbor Retirement Show, helping you plan so your money will grow.